What up? How's it going? So that last episode was interesting, and it led me to question something. The relationship he has with his friend that works for the law firm, where does that go, right? I understand he helped that family because the man was going away for a long time, but he really helped Kim, right? She said her plan was 2 years and just moved to 10 years. He helped her out at the expense of himself. And I want to know, where does that go? Like I can't see or tell where that's gonna go, but he got love for her like a motherfucker. You know what I mean? It's on some friendship shit right now, but I don't know if they're gonna get close or anything like that. And I do want to see that. Hey, let's go ahead and start this next episode. Better Call Saul.
So what does it say?
Is this a joke?
No joke.
You passed the bar?
Yeah, I did. I mean, I thought if Kim can do it, maybe I can too.
Chuck, like, what the fuck?
The University of American Samoa.
Oh, correspondence school.
Well, I wasn't going to quit work, right? Go land crabs. So, I did that. The bar exam's a mother, for me. Failed it the first 2 times, but I guess it's like losing your virginity. 3rd time's the charm.
Why? You didn't come to me for help?
Jesus, Chuck, you're the busiest guy I know. You're doing important shit.
I don't know what to say.
Are you proud of me?
Oh, yes, absolutely.
Thanks. I was hoping, if you think it's appropriate, once I get sworn in and everything, consider hiring me.
As what? Oh, a lawyer. Well, that's a question I'm going to have to take up with Howard and the other partners. But how could they say no?
Oh, no.
So much drive. Jimmy, look what you've done here.
Let's reassess in 6 months. Thanks for understanding, Jimmy. You want the door open or closed?
He didn't even give him no time to understand. That man told her what he had to say and then just walked out. He was like, all right, well.
All right, Mrs. Landry, just a few more signatures and I will be done.
Would you like another Hydrox?
No, thank you. I'm all hydroxed out.
Oh, well, please help yourself if you change your mind.
Right, that one.
You should have done this years ago.
Well, people do tend to put it off, but everybody should have a will. Please tell your friends. $140, and I'm happy to take cash or a check or cash.
You could keep the will until I get my allowance, and that should only be until the end of next week.
Excuse me, allowance? Your family has you on an allowance?
No, it's my money. I just get it from Sandpiper Crossing. The checks go to Sandpiper. And then they take out my fees and my expenses.
We may have some class action
Why
happening
don't you just come on in? I'm afraid I'm not explaining it
Is that
very
how class
well.
action works? I don't know. All I know is I keep getting it in the mail. Like, they're going to give me $1.80 if I go in on this class action.
And all the rest goes into my savings account. It's really all very above board. A lot of places do it this way.
She heard it.
These are gonna help me, but I don't know if they'll do the trick. So
Scumbag.
tiny.
Robbing from
4,
the old
10,
people.
12. It's probably an accident, but we should look into it, don't you think? They're not doing this intentionally.
Ain't no damn mistake. Ain't no damn mistake. Boy, they about to put a hit out on you.
Don't think I don't see what you were doing here. You wanted to play Tom Sawyer. Wanted me to paint the fence. God help me, it worked. $14 for a box of Kleenex.
Yeah, I found others. There's $3.50 for a single roll of toilet paper, $22 for a bottle of aspirin. This woman, she got soaked for like $400 last month. And there's a pretty solid attempt at concealment of that fact, which, to my way of thinking, makes it
Fraud. This was in work I did?
Yeah, you must have missed it. Look, Chuck, I got lucky, right? Even a stop clock is right twice a day.
If it's more than a few errand billings, and if it's systematic and you establish a pattern.
Oh, class action.
Could be
I
class
was right.
action.
Back to see Mrs. Landry. Okay. What gives?
Sorry, sir. New policy.
I have clients in there now. They have a legal right to meet with me.
Well, you'll just have to arrange to meet them elsewhere.
Fuck you, glasses. Boy, they went in.
Come on, guys. Seriously? What are you making Soylent Green back there? It's right, okay? Can I use your restroom? Please, it's I got IBS.
Go ahead.
She really gonna allow him to?
To Sandpiper Crossing. Clients of James M. McGill, this is to inform you.
Come on now, sir.
He taking a dookie, leave him alone.
Clear pattern of malfeasance, abuses, or negligent infliction of emotional distress.
I need you to
This
finish
is a
up.
demand letter informing Sandpiper Crossing of pending litigation for defrauding my clients through systematic overcharging. You're shredding in there. I'm not deaf. I can hear you. Stop right now. If you don't stop shredding right now, that's destruction of evidence. Spoliation. That's what it's called. And it's a felony. So call your lawyers right now. Tell them I said that. Me, James McGill, Esquire.
That's right.
I'm telling you guys, big mistake. Ah.
That didn't work at all. I mean, he came out there with the back of a fucking notebook and some toilet paper. Hey, shout out to James McGill, man.
Do you think you could watch Kaylee? It'd be during my shift, the day after tomorrow. Like, I hate to ask, but my regular sitter's down.
Anything you need, I'll be there.
Man. You know they got one of them whack-ass Walmart shredders, too. It'll take some time, but you can piece that shit back together. Yo, I just like what this show is because as a character, we get to see him do investigations and lawyer work like he's a regular Matlock.
They don't pay Indians enough for this.
On and on. And so I'm like, why are you
Mr. McGill, Rich Schweikert of Schweikert and Coakley.
We're the law firm representing Sandpiper Crossing Assisted Living. How are you this evening?
I'm at the opera.
Oh, what opera?
Magic flute.
Mozart. Lovely.
Well, I'll try not to keep you. We received something from you today, and we're not quite sure what.
It's a demand letter.
Ah, if you're talking about shredding documents, it's neither irregular nor illegal.
You say potato, I say spoliation. I believe it's all in the letter.
I'm not saying it's not, but it's a bit hard to read.
Next time I'd use double ply.
Let's not fixate on the medium.
No. That's the medium is hilarious.
Mr. McGill, are you related to Charles McGill?
He's my brother.
Yeah? How's he doing these days?
Frankly, the only reason that I made
This phone call was out of respect for Charles, on the off chance that you might be related to him. My partner suggested that the best
response would be to send a Rule 11 letter and have you sanctioned, but I didn't want to jump to that immediately.
How about you stop trying to rattle my cage and just, respond to the merits?
This is a shakedown, and we both know it. Now, if you push this any further, my hands will be tied. Enjoy the magic flute.
Pause.
Blow my magic flute.
Thank you. I was about to say, Paul, that sounds crazy. Enjoy the magic flute. Is that recycling? Did they really put the paperwork into the recycle bin? First off, that's so fucking hilarious. In plenty of fucking ways. He just spent all that time in there, didn't have to. And also, why the fuck are you recycling evidence? Separate them by color first. Make different color piles. Ah, man. And he got to do it by lantern light.
What have you done to my dining room?
They were spoliating, the Sandpiper people. There was no lock, no nothing. I just lifted the lid and there it was. There's no reasonable expectation of privacy in that situation, is there? You can't say it's private if a hobo can use it as a wigwam. That's the standard, right? If animals or vagrants can get in.
Well, at least it's not cross-cut.
Right.
Look,
I knew they
you
had
won't
one of
even
them
know
wax
I'm here,
shredders.
okay? I just need some space and some quiet, and I'll be out of your hair as soon as I can.
Stop. It's okay. You can work here. I don't mind the company.
Oh, that's dope.
You look like you could use a cup of coffee.
Well, Jesus, Chuck, how long have I been asleep? Thank you. This is a huge help. I felt like I was shoveling snow in a blizzard.
Well, it gets better.
Invoice for syringes?
Yes, from?
Morrissey Medical Supply, Lincoln, Nebraska.
Probably not a bad idea to pull 3047-1 from NMSA 1978. I don't think that's gonna play, really, but it's a good opening salvo for us.
We're working together on this?
That's up to you, Jimmy. Oh. All right.
What, you want me to just read you the head notes or something?
No, print it. Full cases, and any cases that cite to those cases. Shepherdize like the wolves at the door.
Come on, you owe me one.
Yes, I do.
Right.
But this is going to take hours. And who do I bill it to?
Bill it to Howard.
I still remember his code, 1933, same year Hitler came to power.
You're not funny. I'm not billing it to my boss.
How about yours? I'll pay you back.
Oh,
Hey.
yeah.
Kim can't print without a code.
Good
Should I
job.
go over there and take notes and come back?
No. Take too long. Use mine,
Yeah.
1868.
Look, I know Chuck's partnership agreement chapter and verse. He can work with outside parties.
That clause is intended for small time stuff. And Chuck can handle this? Last time I saw him, he was...
Last time you saw
Saw him, he wasn't himself, okay? This is good for him.
Kid's a dream. She's easy. And you better stay that way.
Look, with Maddie gone, I have expenses, and the death benefit helped, but can I spend this?
Stace, if this money helps you and Kaylee, if it does a single good thing in this world, then you spend every penny.
Of course, it's only a drop in the bucket.
This what sets Mike off on the path.
Gentlemen, I'm Jimmy McGill. Welcome.
Rich Stryker. This is Alvin Reese. Phil Jurgens.
Thanks for coming. Oh, I have to ask you,
Cell phones,
please
everything.
leave electronics in the car. Laptops, Blackberries, Palm Pilots, watches. If you lick it and it goes bzzz, leave it here.
Why?
My brother Chuck has a certain sensitivity. It's a medical condition. Make yourselves comfortable, gentlemen. I'll be right back.
At the dining table. Hey, I fuck with this.
I don't know if I can do this.
You can do this.
Chuck, you got this, Chuck.
They're scared of you already, and they should be. You're Charles McGill.
We were on a co-defense. Church's Donuts v. Amendola. Oh. It was 10 years ago. You quoted, what was it? Addiston Pipe and Steel. You turned it all antitrust, and the whole thing went away in summary judgment. You know, you're not going to make this stick. Setting aside evidentiary
Oh,
concerns.
your guys couldn't afford $10 for a padlock? That's on them.
There are a lot of assisted living facilities out there that may be disreputable, but that's not the case with our client, not even close. All their facilities, all 12 of them, every single one, 5-star rated. We looked into it, and some of your clients have, in fact, been overbilled. It's an accounting error. It doesn't rise to the level of fraud, not even close.
We've calculated the damages. All told, it's $46,320.
A check for the 46 and change right now. And on top of that, we'll give you another $46K to cover your expenses. So what's that, 92? Let's call it $100,000 even. It's syringes, so I don't know if you know this, but that's a pretty standard item in an assisted living facility.
Correct, but it's not what it is that matters, it's where it's from. So your client accepted shipments across state lines for its enterprise. In the U.S. mail, no less. Sedema establishes a pretty low threshold for RICO provisions to kick in. Interstate commerce is a bitch, huh? As soon as we establish a pattern to, what was your word, overbilling? I
made it a point to say
prefer
we got-
the
they have
classic
12
term
spots,
of
like-
fraud.
What number exactly did you have in mind?
20 million.
Excuse me?
You heard me.
Oh, you can't
$20 million. Or we'll see you in court.
Why did Chuck
20
make it go to
million?
court?
Didn't you hear them? This is a big company. This is potentially a multi-state federal class action lawsuit with a RICO kicker at the penalty phase. 20 million, that's conservative. And we need to get you back on the grounds. Quash this prohibition against you. Some injunctive relief, maybe a TRO.
Oh, shit. Chuck is...
Jimmy, do you want to get started on the TRO?
You still in touch with your people?
Depends on the type of work you're looking for.
Well, you tell me what you got. I'll tell you what I'll do.
Did you get what I asked? The code provisions.
Shit. It's in the car.
Is he walking out to the car?
Chuck?
Yeah.
first, let me start by saying don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. If you are subscribed, make sure to hit the notification bell. Shout out to all the new viewers. Shout out to all the subscribers. And I have a Patreon with full-length early reactions, things like this. If you'd like to, check it out. So I want to say something. It's almost like a confession. When I was a teenager, you know what was a show I liked and it just hit me? Like I remembered it. It's something that's the deepest part of my mind. And you know what it is? Jag. Why did I like that show? I've never even talked about it with somebody. That's how much no one liked that show or cared about it. NCIS is a spinoff of it. And if you ask most NCIS people, they probably wouldn't even know that because no one gives a fuck about Jag. People find it boring. It was CBS shows at the height of CBS shows, right? It was very, military. But anyway, reason I bring that up is when they were sitting at that table doing the straight up law shit, I was like, oh, I like this. I enjoy this. It was dope because the thing with the syringes, I was like, what? I don't understand. So when he busts out RICO because it's in different states, I'm like, oh, because if you, this is something regional. If you're from New York, you know what the RICO Act is. This is one of those crazy things. I'm not talking about if you move there, nothing like that. I'm not talking about if you came there later. If you grew up there and you from around there, you know what the RICO is. It's a thing. You know what I mean? It's like everyone there knows it. I don't know about other places, but I know for a fact it was such a big deal. I remember Russell Simmons and some other people. It was like these group of people, they were trying to get it like taken out because it was knocking off a lot of people. Like if you was the kid who was fucking, selling on the corner, you was going down with the motherfucker head of the situation, right? And so when they brought that up and he said, it's like a business thing and makes sense, right? Makes sense. I remember that the whole thing was they were going to utilize that in order to get at the mob. But when he brings up, it's based off business. It's based in business. I'm like, oh shit. And so I'm looking at that like, yo, this is dope. I'm dead into it, okay? Then we get to the point where Chuck goes, well, first off, the guys go and talk to each other. The lawyers, they go talk, blah, blah, blah. So how much? Chuck says 20 million or we could go to court. And he says that knowing it's going to court. But I'm thinking, why did he want it to go to court? That's how I'm thinking he's playing it. But no. The 20 million is, he's like, that's what is required of this. And when the guy was sitting there basically listing off, we got 12 of these places and, it's reputable. We do the right thing. Other places do way worse than us. It was an oversight, accounting error. I'm like, yo, at that moment, I knew that there being 12, it would mean something. And for him to go, there's 12, they're probably in multiple states. It was like, oh, shit. This thing it could be huge. Because when you see it, it just seems like, oh, it's just this small assisted living facility. How can this, right? So when he says 20 million, I'm like, yo, he's ODing. Is he? Now, here's the other thing. He was working. He got back into it. And it was crazy because the way it was done was he didn't know if he had it in himself. You could tell that was what he was, a lawyer. His self-worth was in that. And for that to be gone and then to be brought back, right? Like he's in it. Okay, cool. But it's another thing to actually be dealing with other lawyers. So when the lawyer arrives and brings up what used to be, that's sort of a mind fuck for him. He's like, even if he didn't remember, to hear those words uttered about him is like, yeah, law. So he's sitting there the whole time James is talking. I'm like, what's going through his mind? And what I wonder is, was he just sitting there piecing it all together? Did it hit him like, no, wait a minute. Was that wait a minute. Is that one of those? Like, 20 million. Was that one of those? Because he was just sitting over there. I like that scene a lot. Then we go to that final scene. I like how it was done. We never see Chuck's eyes. the entire time, which is showing us he's dead into the work. He cares about it. He's doing that thing, pen in the mouth, looking for shit, writing stuff down, looking for file. What? His brother says what he says, and he doesn't miss a beat. He doesn't go, well, can you go get it? He doesn't say none of that. He's like, well, and he gets up, and I'm like, where's he going? Because I'm at no point am I thinking he's going outside. And then he goes outside, and I'm like, wait, is he going to the car? And it's not just he went to the car. He has to go and get the keys out of the mailbox and then go to the car. So he's out there doing shit. And James comes out there, what the fuck? Hey, yo, Chuck. And it hit Chuck. He dropped the stuff. Now, the thing about it is they made a noise, but it sort of stopped. It wasn't that the noise that lets us know, oh, the magnetic fear, he had phobia, is affecting him. This was like, yo, I'm out here. And I think at that moment, I can't say, at that moment, I think it hit him, oh, this was a mental thing. Right? Because the fact that his mind was off of it and he forgot and he was able to go outside, he's like, wait, this is a mental, this is a mental thing. Which I wonder where that leads. Because even if he's not fully right, now he knows, oh, I could go actually talk to somebody or, I wonder how that is. Or did he drop it? Like, did it hit him again? Right? Like, oh, like he remembered? Because I thought that's what was going to happen. I thought James calling out to him, that was going to snap him back. I really like that episode. Because how it starts out, my man is just going there to do his job, and then he's reading off. Well, no, the lady doesn't have enough money to pay him. She says allowance, and I thought it was weird at first. But I'm thinking, oh, the family's giving him allowance. Right? That's what I thought. And then he walked off. He was like, wait, allowance, would you? And she started saying all that. Now, I don't know anything about law and all that. That shit just sound fucked up to me. That's how we are as people, right? Right? Like, lawyers are like, it has to be by the law. It has to be by the book. They believe in the Constitution. Like, not believe in it. They know it, and they know what it's for. So they can't just be like, it's almost that science thing where I'm not just going to say something is that way unless we do some experiments on it. For a lawyer, he can't just say, hey, that's fucked up. It has to be. So when he hears about it, he's like, what? So he goes through talking, and he realizes, wait, they beating you in the head. All these old people getting beat in the head. So he's trying to show them. He's going. Now, the lady is eyeing him, and I'm like, oh, what's going to happen? She's like, no solicitation. She has the big dudes come out there, which I don't know if this is true. I've seen this a lot on shows and stuff. Do they usually have big dudes? Is it because they have the ability to carry people and stuff like that? That would make sense to me. But I've always seen on shows big dudes working at these places. I don't know if that's just a trope from shows and movies and stuff, but that would, I guess, kind of make sense. But they was there for security. Now, the funny part where he goes and does the demand letter on the back of the notebook and then does it on the toilet paper, they throw him out, but it's still a document. You can't just throw that out, right? Okay, so all of that, it was fire. Now, we get to the part where he's in the dumpster. There's just these funny moments. And so he's in that dumpster, shit getting thrown in. I'm thinking, oh, he's still going to have to look for it. But for the lawyer to call him while he's in there, it's just funny. So he gets out, and the first thing you see as it goes to the left, is that a recycle bin? Because it's dark, right? But all you see is like the thing, and it's clearly blue. So it's like, that's a recycle bin. He about to find that in there. So he didn't have to go in there. And were they so stupid that they put that shit in the recycle bin? So both of those, that whole situation, hilarious. I really appreciate this. Also, Mike, remember, I'm like, once he gets to the part where she talks about the money, I like that. That was a real human moment. Hey, can we spend this? Like, remember? He's like, every cent that you spend, at least some good's coming out of it. She's like, this will really help, even though it's a drop in the bucket. And right there, you see Mike's face, and that hits me. Remember, he always talks about his granddaughter. You get the image. We don't know much of anything about Mike. We know about that granddaughter. He was just sitting there playing with her, the clay and all that. So to see that is like, damn, that was the moment. So I'm not thinking nothing of it. But then he goes and he's at the vet. And I'm like, oh, shit. He came for some work. That was cool, man. I really did. I really did like this episode. Like I said, I like that. I don't know if I've said this in other stuff I watch. I like when people are experts in stuff that I have no idea about. Like I don't watch doctor shows because they're not entertaining. But for me, Scrubs was an entertaining one. And so every once in a while, they would have some not every once in a while, every episode. They were using like actual medical stuff, even though it was a comedy. And so it would be cool. It'd be like, oh, shit, like, it's sort of this thing where when you see the technique or you see the practice that goes into it, and then you see the fruition, and you see like the experts and then the lower. So you have somebody like Chuck, and you have somebody like James. This is one of the dopest things about people who are in those fields. Even if he's on the lowest rung, that motherfucker knows a million times more than you. Unless you like, some hood lawyer, you know what I mean? Or like that dude at the junkyard in Breaking Bad, right? Remember how he got about the situation? But anyway, hey, yeah, I like this. I like this episode. Y'all probably wondering why I like this episode so much. I can't really explain it. To watch them work was cool for me, and the fact that that's what this show is, I'm all for that. Like I said, I would have never cared about this. You know what I mean? But to see him, James, he's not that cocky, braggadocious, with the commercials. He's really affected by stuff. And he's like asking Kim for help, and Kim helps him out. It's cool to see that. And to see Mike getting up from his granddaughter like just a regular old man, like, that was cool to see. Next episode.